What's good, everybody? JP checking in, man. RespectMyRegion.com. We're here at day one, Hall of Flowers, New York City. I'm here with my man, Will Brophy, Chief Operations Officer of Nabis. These guys are a wholesale distribution platform. They do supply chain technology, a lot of great stuff. I'm going to let him tell you guys more, but first, before we get to all that, how we doing, Will? How you living?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
I appreciate you pulling up, man. It's a pleasure. I got a lot of love for Nabis. I was just telling you offline, we go way back.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, you've been there 6 years. I'm thinking about, I've worked with y'all for 3 years with buddies. It's been 3 years since then. That's 6.
Yeah.
And you guys were doing it before then.
It's been a long time we've been doing it now.
You have Vince, and who's Vince's partner in the business?
June.
Vince and June still at it, right? Still leading
at
the
it, yeah.
ship. I think they're out here in New York these days. I think that's
Vince is out here, June's still in LA. Yep.
Hey man, when we talking the coastal, you got to be in both places.
Exactly.
Cali's a beast and New York's a beast. Bill, what's it like for you guys helping the New York market handle their wholesale distribution, handle their supply chain? What's that been like for you guys?
It's been great. There's there's a lot of things we took from California, and we've been able to apply those lessons, but there's a lot of stuff that's new in New York. It's its own beast, so it's been really fun seeing the market develop.
Where are you guys located in terms of the New York market? I know when we first connected, it was this Oakland distribution in Cali. Then we got something in the middle of the state and then down in LA. And we started doing like 24-hour runs and moving weed all the time.
Yeah.
What's your guys' New York model like?
New York model, it's the same kind of idea, right? At the core of it, we want brands to be able to have statewide inventory that they can think of as sort of cloud inventory. They don't have to worry what's where, because managing inventory across multiple geographies is pretty tough as a brand. But it's pretty important that you have statewide coverage. So
you don't get an order up in Buffalo or an order up in Rochester, and the inventory and everything's all stuck down in like New York City proper.
So our platform, the brands don't have to, retailers, they don't have to worry about where it is. But we have our larger distribution center up in Rochester, and then we've got a sort of outpost spoke down in the Bronx.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. What's it like for you going from the coast over there and splitting time and being out here and balancing?
Well, it's great. I mean, I was born and raised in Rochester.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
so I've gotten to come home.
How
you know, my wife's from Rochester too, so we're home with our families, and seeing the New York cannabis market grow, and doing it out of Rochester and the Bronx, places I care about, it's been awesome. It feels like a homecoming a little bit.
Do you, on a personal / business note, do you get to work with any of the people that you came up with?
Yeah.
Has that kind of happened at all yet?
Yeah, we distribute my cousin's brand. Yeah, I grew up smoking and everything with these guys, so it's great. Shout out Flower City.
How many full circle stories have we heard, and to think that it can finally happen for ourselves to some degree like that, right?
Yeah.
So fulfilling and exciting.
Yeah.
What did you say the name of the brand was?
Flower City. Yeah.
Flower City. What kind of products?
They do mostly smokable flower and pre-rolls.
How cool is that, man? Yeah. Family owned and operated, man.
That's right.
Now, Nabis, though, technology focused.
That's right.
You guys support the growers. You support these brands getting their deliveries, their orders delivered to the stores.
That's right.
What's important for brands to know in terms of Nabis if they were to potentially work with you guys? What's something that's super important that you guys want to communicate to those brands not yet working with you?
Yeah, I think the big thing that we've seen in the markets we're in and already in New York, it's just around how you spend your time, right? And I think most companies underestimate how difficult distribution is, and they probably underestimate, how much time it's going to take from them, and what the impact on their business will be. And then, over time, our product tends to sell itself because people realize you need a really professional distributor. You can't spend all of your time thinking about distribution problems, and it only gets harder the bigger the businesses get. So, yeah, just the opportunity cost of doing it on your own, I think. A lot of people are apprehensive at first to think about giving away part of their supply chain because there's margin implications as well. But
I mean, it's a number that's a direct hit to their math, to their, whatever their equation is for their business. It's very clearly an addition. And it's real. And it's like they either get the numbers and the math, they say the math has to math. The math either maths and it makes more sense, or maybe they're just not ready for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
As somebody who started my sales career with a brand that was a multi-state brand, right? But California is a very large space, and so similar to New York, it was difficult to get things places.
Yeah.
We had custom orders from brands, certain sets of regulations. It was damn near impossible for our internal teams to accommodate
Yeah.
all of those things while maintaining efficiency, Will.
Yeah, and even if
Professionalism.
even if you could do all of it,
Oh,
and
so
it's hard to
hard.
do, that's all that time and money you're
Oh,
not
man.
spending selling. And I think that's
Yes.
the part that new brands tend to underlook is just the opportunity cost of not spending your time on what's most important to your business.
The sales rep has to
yeah.
sell.
That's
we have
right.
to sell. We have to take the meetings. We have to drive there. How can we?
Product development, all sorts of stuff.
R&D, product development,
Yep.
the internal things. If we're all wearing so many hats, Will, which many of these brands have staffs with a title, and they do 15 titles worth
That's right.
of responsibilities,
Yeah.
you can't expect people to go make all the money they can make and reach their full potential if they're spent one phone call a week or a day, 5 to 10 phone calls a day, putting out fires because product isn't getting where it's supposed to be when it's supposed to get there.
Yeah,
right?
that's
That's
right.
the most frustrating thing is when the order's been placed, the sales rep has done it, and the internal distribution can't get it there. And that's where Nabis, from my personal experience, was always able to step in and make that an efficient and effective process. Obviously, there's friction because things change. You can't stop
course.
car accidents. You can't stop
No.
mishaps here and there. There's always going to be some form of problem, but when there's a professional communicator who all they do is that
focused
distribution
on
element
it,
is
yeah.
focused on that,
Yeah.
then things actually get solved quicker, even though they're separated.
Yeah, we believe there's a real power in focus. So spending all your time and energy focused on one part of the process, you can get really good at it. And I think we've been able to get really good at distribution, get good at building technology that sort of buffers and sits around the edges of distribution
Yeah.
and unlocks things for brands. And I love how scrappy our industry is, right? There's people wearing a ton of hats, doing a bunch of things. That's part of the beauty of our industry. But I think over time, starting to sort of, give pieces of that supply chain to the specialists who are really focused on it has a lot of power.
There is something to really be said about having the true specialists or just professionals focus on 1 to 3 things that they're very, very good at versus too many things. Cannabis has a bandwidth problem, and everybody does try to do it all themselves.
Yeah, and I often tell folks, look, you want to own your core competencies. So if you're a flower brand and you hang your hat entirely on flower, if you want to get involved in cultivation, that makes sense because it's at the core of the value you're adding. Unless, as a brand, you're going to make distribution a cornerstone of your product value, maybe don't spend all your energy there.
We guarantee orders getting there in 48 to 72 hours.
Yeah.
And you're because your business model, your bistro, your team, all of these things are able to execute upon.
Yeah, it's about 36-hour turn on everything. We have 99.99% item level delivered on time and full. So we're pretty good at what we do, and we let brands really focus on what they do well.
Now, Will, I got to take a moment here. I got to shout out our sponsor for providing the platform. Canabrand Solutions is our premier partner for all things C-Cell hardware, all things premium packaging, and if you guys need any consulting or support in terms of manufacturing a product or getting the packaging taken care of, these are our premier partners. And thus, this next segment is powered by Canabrand Solutions. Will, does packaging, does form, does the factors, does how it all comes together, does this play a role in distribution? How much space it takes up?
Of course,
the weight of these things? I know cans can be heavy because liquid is heavy.
Yeah.
What are some of those things people tend to skip over in terms of distribution, unexpected cost variables?
Yeah, so cannabis has a lot of different product categories, and they vary a lot, and it makes it pretty hard to predict space, both in your vehicles, in your warehouse. We've gotten pretty good at it. We're not perfect, but pretty good at it. And I think, a lot of smaller brands, as they're getting going, they don't necessarily think about it, and it's something they have to catch up on late. And finding out that you have too much product to fit in your van the morning it's supposed to ship out is a pretty big problem for those retailers. So, yeah, it makes it complicated. But if you work with somebody like Nabis, you can really focus on what's the product that's going to resonate with the
planning
retailer.
and the foresight can really help.
Exactly, and it's not your problem necessarily, right? It's for us to figure out, and we don't mind the challenge.
I love that, man. Will, I appreciate you sharing so much info about Nabis, specifically in the New York model here.
Yeah.
What is important to Nabis, and what you want the New York industry to know with all these brands here today? What's the real goal with you guys? What message do you want to send here today?
Yeah, check out Nabis Marketplace if you're a retailer, if you're a brand,
We're still pushing the marketplace.
always.
I love it.
Yeah,
Place your orders on the marketplace. It's great.
if you're a brand, come talk to us. We're just excited. We're here to help in New York, and yeah, we're really proud to be part of this market that's growing so quickly. So we appreciate everyone that lets us be a part of their company in some ways. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for you guys. I love that for you, Will. It's exciting to hear your story and journey from over there to here, the family, and of course, we're both sitting here today at the first ever New York Hall of Flowers.
That's right.
How crazy is that?
What a time.
Thank you for your time, my man.
Thank you. Pleasure
Be
to
sure
meet
to
you.
check out Nabis, you guys. You can Google Nabis. You can look them up on Instagram. I recommend tapping in on LinkedIn as well. What's the website for them to check out?
Nabis.com.
Come on, man. Y'all heard it here first. Nabis.com. I'm Jay Ping, Respect My Region. Today's episode is brought to you guys by Canna Brand Solutions, and we'll catch you on the next one. I love you guys. Peace.